Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Assalatu wassalamu ala Rasulihil Kareem. Amma ba'ad, fa'auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Allahumma faqihna fid din. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. How are you, everyone? Alhamdulillah, I'm also doing good. And today is our 45th lesson. And last week we did, in lesson 44, we did grammatical labeling of Jumlah Ismiyah. So in grammatical labeling, we have three parts of Jumlah Ismiyah. Actually, last week, you learned two different levels of grammatical labeling. First labeling is macro level labeling, in which you identify where is mubtada, where is khabar, where is mutaliq bil khabar. And then in each of these three parts, you further identify if there are fragments within all these main three parts. So that labeling is micro level labeling. Today, in our next lesson, we are going to learn abnormal sentence structures. So far, we learned regular sentence structure, in which we have mubtada, then khabar, then mutaliq bil khabar. So three main parts, and the sequence is mubtada, khabar, mutaliq bil khabar. Today, our topic is abnormal sentence structures in Jumlah Ismiyah. Abnormal in the sense that it's not that those sentences are abnormal, but they are not in the same sequence as the main expected one. Like expected sequence of Jumlah Ismiyah is mubtada, khabar, mutaliq bil khabar. But most of the time in Quran, we see different sequences other than the main sequence we learned. So these are not abnormal, but unusual. You can say unusual. In Dream textbook, the unit is 5.4, and the name of the unit is Abnormal Sentence Structures in Jumlah Ismiyah, and it is also written in this unit that it's a unusual sentence structure. So so far we learned that standard order for a typical Jumlah Ismiyah, like a typical Jumlah Ismiyah, the sequence is mubtada followed by khabar, then followed by mutaliq khabar. So mubtada, khabar, mutaliq bil khabar. It is possible for this order to be shifted for rhetorical purposes. Like there can be shifting of this sequence for rhetorical purposes, like bringing some more meaning or emphasizing in the sentence. Shifting the order can produce several different meanings. The meaning produced by the shift in order is determined by the type of shift and the context. So type of the shift tells us what is the new meaning, and also the context of this sentence also. And in terms, these are two very important terms over here: muqaddam and muakhar. Okay, so in terms of labeling, when something appears before it is expected to, it is labeled as muqaddam. Muqaddam means brought forward. So if khabar comes before mubtada, then it is khabar muqaddam. Or if mutaliq bil khabar comes before mubtada, then متعلق بالخبر مقدم. When something appears after it is expected, it is labeled as مؤخر. مؤخر, which means delayed. So if there is something that is muqaddam, prefixed or brought forward, then there will necessarily be something muakhar. There will necessarily be something delayed. So if mutaliq bil khabar is brought forward, this is muqaddam. Muqaddam, for muqaddam, we are going to write MQ. This is muqaddam, then mubtada, because it is brought forward, then mubtada would be muakhar, MK. Okay. And here the regular sequence is mubtada, khabar, mutaliq bil khabar. But here mutaliq bil khabar is muqaddam and khabar is muakhar. The khabar is hold on, let me take the marker. Yeah, muakhar. Okay, so let me clear this and we discuss these abnormalities further. This is the normal regular sentence structure we learned so far in our previous lesson. Mubtada, khabar, mutaliq bil khabar. Okay. Then the normal sentence structure, I wrote it. I wrote the normal sentence structure again in this slide. Mubtada, khabar, mutaliq bil khabar. Now there are two possibilities that unusual or abnormal sentence structure we can encounter. Whether mutaliq bil khabar comes before khabar. So in that case, we have mubtada, then mutaliq bil khabar, and then khabar. Okay, this is one type of abnormal structure. Another possibility is that mutaliq bil khabar, which is the third part, comes as the first part in the sentence and takes place the khabar also. So mutaliq bil khabar is brought forward and it is taking the place of khabar also. Khabar is not there. Mutaliq bil khabar brought forward, khabar is not there, and mubtada is muakhar. Mubtada is muakhar. Over here, mubtada is normal. In this possibility, in this sequence, mubtada is normal. Mutaliq bil khabar is muqaddam and khabar is muakhar. Okay. Okay, now let's go to the next slide and see, learn these two different sentence structures, unusual sentence structure with examples. Okay. And these are the two common abnormal patterns. One in which mutaliq bil khabar comes first, and then we have mubtada and there is no khabar. And another pattern that we find is mubtada, then mutaliq bil khabar, and then khabar. Okay. So let's take the first pattern, which is mutaliq bil khabar coming first and then mubtada, but there's no khabar. Okay. So mutaliq bil khabar comes before the mubtada. This pattern generally produces a meaning of exclusivity or ikhtisas. Okay, when mutaliq bil khabar comes first and it is taking the place of khabar, which is mahzuf. Okay, which is mahzuf, which is omitted, and mutaliq bil khabar is taking the place of actual khabar, which is omitted, and there is mubtada muakhar. So example is wa ilallahil masir, and to Allah alone is the final place of return. Where come this alone word coming? There's no word, there's no Arabic word alone here in the ayat. But because of the sentence structure in which mutaliq bil khabar, ila is harf jar, Allahi ismi jalala ism majroor. So this is mutaliq bil khabar, and it is coming, it is brought forward. Mutaliq bil khabar is brought forward. So it is muqaddam. Okay. And we are going to say this is mutaliq bil khabar muqaddam, mutaliq bil khabar muqaddam mahzoof. Khabar is mahzoof, and wa ilallahi masir. Al masiru is mubtada, it is rafa. Al masiru is mubtada, and it is muakhar. Okay. So to Allah alone is the final place of return. So this exclusivity alone is coming because of this unusual pattern in which mutaliq bil khabar muqaddam is there. So far so good. Okay, let me clear these writings, and we have another example on the same page. Wa indahu mafatihul ghaib. Wa indahu mafatihul ghaibi. Inda is what? Harf jar or zarf? Inda is zarf, special mudaf, right? Who is mudaf ilayh fi mahalli jar, right? Who is damir muttasil mudaf ilayh fi mahalli jar. So indahu is mutaliq bil khabar, and it is muqaddam. Khabar is mahzoof. Mafatihul ghaibi. Mafatihu is mudaf, al-ghaibi mudaf ilayh. Both together, this idafa fragment is making both together making the mubtada, which is muakhar. Again, there is exclusivity. With him exclusively are the keys to the unseen. With him exclusively are the keys to the unseen. So this exclusively is not there in the words of this Jumlah Ismiyah, this sentence. But exclusively is coming because of this special pattern, specific pattern. Okay. So the pattern in which mutaliq bil khabar is muqaddam with the absence or omission of khabar, and then mubtada is muakhar, usually generally produces a meaning of exclusivity. One more thing. Look, in both of these examples, al-masiru and mafatihul ghaib. Al-masiru is rafa. What about the type? Al-masiru is marfa with al, marraf bil lam, right? Al-masiru is proper noun. Over here, mafatihul ghaibi. Mafatihu, the mudaf is common, but mudaf becomes proper if the mudaf ilayh is proper. So al-ghaibi is proper, so mudaf is also proper. So the mubtada is proper, also proper here. So just keep in mind, in both of these examples, we have mubtada which are muakhar, but these both mubtada are proper. Okay, because we are going to learn another important rule on the next page. Know that if the mubtada is common, it must be made muakhar. This is a grammar rule. If the mubtada anywhere we need to bring in any sentence we have a mubtada which is common nakira, it must be made muakhar. So this is a grammar rule. Okay, so this is a grammar rule that if the mubtada is common, it must be made muakhar. So when we have a MBK, which is muqaddam, fi qulubihim, muqaddam, and we have a mubtada, which is muakhar, but in nakira, then there is no special thing about it, because this is the only way, this is the normal structure. Muakhar mubtada should be a muakhar mubtada. Oh, sorry, an mubtada which is nakira should be muakhar. That's the normal way it is. So there's no neither emphasis nor exclusivity over here. When we have a MBK brought forward, we have a mubtada muakhar, but if the mubtada muakhar is common, then there is no rhetorical implication. The translation is the same as the regular one. Fi qulubihim maradun. Fi in qulubihim, their hearts, in their hearts, there is a sickness. Maradun, there is a sickness. So there is no emphasis, no exclusivity if the mubtada muakhar is nakra, common. The same way here. Anna lahum, anna harf of nasab, then anna plus the ism which is in nasb status. Ajran. Ajran is mubtada. Anna and ajran. Hasanan. Here MBK is there. Okay. Anna lahum ajran hasanan. Anna and its ism. Ajran hasanan is mubtada and lahum is mutaliq bil khabar. That they have a beautiful composition. Okay, another example with proper mubtada muakhar. Look, this one. Mutaliq bil khabar muqaddam lahu, li harf jar, hu damir muttasil, ism majroor. So mutaliq bil khabar muqaddam, and look, mulku is mubtada, but it is connected to as-samawati wal ardi. Mulku mudaf, then as-samawati mudaf ilayh, then harf ataf, then al-ardi is matuf ala samawati. So mulku samawati wal ardi is one chain. This is chained like mubtada, two fragments. One is mudaf mudaf ilayh, another is matuf matuf alayh, right? So this is mubtada, but this mubtada which is muakhar is proper because as-samawati mudaf ilayh is proper. So mulku is also proper. So this is marfa, mubtada muakhar, but marfa. So over here in translation, we are going to translate with exclusivity. For him alone is the ownership of the skies and the earth. Why we are bringing alone? Because there is MBK, mutaliq bil khabar muqaddam, and there is a mubtada muakhar which is marifa. So if mubtada muakhar is marifa, then we are going to translate as alone or exclusively. So there is exclusivity if this pattern is there. Okay. So this is the one pattern we learned in the previous slide. Now we are going to another pattern in which khabar is there. in which khabar is not omitted, but khabar, mutaliq bil khabar comes first and then khabar. Okay. Over here we have all three parts, all three major buckets or major parts, like mubtada, mutaliq bil khabar, and then khabar. We have all three parts, but mutaliq bil khabar comes first and then khabar. The usual sequence is khabar, mubtada, khabar, mutaliq bil khabar. Usual sequence is mubtada, khabar, and then mutaliq bil khabar. But over here, khabar is coming as the last part of the sentence. Okay. And when this thing happens, when mutaliq bil khabar is muqaddam and khabar is muakhar, mubtada is on its regular place. Mubtada is in the beginning of the sentence, in the beginning of the Jumlah Ismiyah. Mubtada is at the place where it is expected, but mutaliq bil khabar is muqaddam and khabar is muakhar. Then the rhetorical implications can be like in this pattern, in this second pattern, in which the mubtada remains in its place and the khabar and mutaliq bil khabar switch places, can produce variety of meanings. It can, intended meaning is determined by the context. So intended meaning can be what? Emphasis, taqeed, or giving importance or showing interest, that is called ihtimam. So, but there are other possibilities also. So these are two important possibilities that can be there. So let's see what effect it produced in the translation. Look. Wallahu ala kulli shayin qadir. And Allah is completely capable over. Allah over every single thing. Ala kulli shayin qadir. So every single thing, this every single thing, kulli shayin, every single thing. This single is coming like there's this emphasis over everything. Okay. If we go word by word, ala kulli shayin, everything, every single thing. So there's an emphasis. Note there's a difference between this is written that there's a difference between abnormal and unusual or rare. The structures introduced in this section defy the standard but are commonly used and commonly found in the Quran and other literature. So these different two different patterns that we learned today, these are unusual. Unusual, like they are not the typical sequence, but they are common. We commonly find these patterns in the Quran. Okay. So okay, that's the end of today's lesson, and this is on the next slide. We have the exercise. We have the exercise, and in exercise we what we do, like we do the exercise in the interactive session, but let's do this one. Fihi ayatum bayyinatun. Fihi ayatum bayyinatun. So fihi is متعلق بالخبر. حرف جر في حرف جر he اسم مجرور. So فيه is متعلق بالخبر which is مقدم. And then آياتٌ بيناتٌ. So آياتٌ is مبتدا وهو موصوف and بيناتٌ is صفة. So together they form مبتدا مؤخر and we don't have خبر over here. What do you think? Is there going to be exclusivity in this in the translation? فيه آيات بينات. In it there are clear signs. Should I bring in it exclusively there are clear sign? Should I bring exclusivity? No, because the mubtada muakhar that is there is common, ayatun. So because mubtada muakhar is common, we are not going to bring exclusivity in the translation. Okay. Okay, so that's how, inshallah, we are going to do it in the interactive session. And I'm going to stop the recording now. And inshallah, see you in the next lesson, next week. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.